of YouTube, I seen a post and it says 45% of men from the ages 18 to 25 have never asked a girl out. And I definitely believe that. I'm also seeing women say, oh, why don't men speak to women even more often? And honestly, it's not that men are scared of women. Well, kind of high key. I ain't gonna front. There are a lot of men that are scared of women, but not in a bad way, like scared of women. I feel like social media kind of ruined the way how men and women interact on a day-to-day basis. I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with women and men sharing their opinions online, but it gets to a point where I feel like some people share opinions on real life scenarios and have never really lived it. And that's a thing with our generation too. Like we have a lot of information at the tip of our fingers, but to our own detriment, because we are young. A lot of us, we haven't really experienced things. And I'm gonna just be honest. Yeah, a lot of us think we know shit, but we don't really know shit either. Like we just kind of started living. I know, like that's kind of crazy, but I feel like in order to know certain things about women and men, you have to really actually go outside and really experience that shit. Like you can't sit at home and give people advice on little conversations you have, or this guy DM or this girl we was speaking. Like I'm talking about real life, like really have like real like years of experience. And that's the thing, like we haven't had years of experience, nigga. We're still filling out most of our lives. We're most of us trying to get our lives together, nigga. Like we're, Gen Z, what's the oldest Gen Z? Is like what, 26, 25? Like the oldest Gen Z is like 26 or 25, which says a lot, nigga. We're a young ass generation. Like we just started living. Like we just started living. Like we don't really know shit for real. I mean, we could feel like we know shit, but we don't really know shit because a lot of us haven't really experienced like 10-year, 20-year relationships to even be giving out advice on relationships, which I think is just hilarious. Like, how are you giving out relationship advice? You've never even been in a 5-year, 7-year relationship. You don't even know how it feels to even live with a man or a woman. So how the fuck you gonna tell me about relation? Like, you see what I mean? And a lot of it, I do feel like a lot of the dating advice is negative. And I definitely feel like it does highlight a lot of insecurities within men and women. Definitely a lot of issues when it comes to that. And I feel like a lot of men feel like when they hear stuff like that, oh, whether hitting on a girl, it may be creepy, which I've heard that a lot. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Some niggas, some women, the video, the picture with Los, his big body stuff, and Duke Dennis, for example, the big body nigga that he is, when he goes up to girls, it's harassment. But when Duke goes up to girls, it's not harassment. Like, that is a real thing. Like, I've seen women be like, ew, what the fuck, to niggas, like, in real life. Knowing, like, those people have feelings. That's why, I don't know, some people be mad cold when they reject people. Like, just say you don't like the nigga. Like, damn. Like, like some men have bad experiences with just how they present themselves to women, even when they're not even being... Because I've seen some men be completely rude and get naughty. But honestly, that is an attraction thing. I feel like attraction do matter, because when you attracted, you can get away with a lot of bullshit. I ain't gonna front. I've seen some niggas say some things. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna front. If 90% of the niggas in this room said what you just said, they would be going to prison. But but I digress. I feel like a lot of opinions are being shared that don't really hold no real weight in terms of dating. A lot of it does cause a lot of insecurity within men when women speak, oh, don't hit me up unless you got this, that, and the third. Whole time they're in the same predicament as you, which I find is really funny. A lot of Gen Z women and Gen Z men are in the same stage in their lives, so I don't really understand why y'all are acting like y'all are so different from each other. Like, back then, this was never an issue. Like, they were just young and dating, but for some reason, this is an issue. Like, you have to feel and date certain people a certain way because they don't fit or not in line with you the whole time. They're actually who you're supposed to be dating. I don't really understand that one, but but I feel like just dating in general when it comes to the internet has definitely ruined how men and women interact on a day-to-day basis, and it's definitely fucked up the way how we communicate, because instead of just having real conversations with each other, like face to face, we're on social media bashing each other, speaking negatively on each other, saying all types of bullshit. It's a lot of cringy shit on the internet. A lot of cringy opinions, a lot of weird people, a lot of odd behaviors. So I can understand why certain men are put off by dating, because I think social media has definitely ruined how men even interact with women in general, vice versa. I feel like a lot of damage. And I can tell because I will speak to grown men that are like 27, 25, 24, never spoke to a woman before. Why? They have 1,000 insecurities. They heard this person online say this about women, this, that, and the third. He say, she say, instead of actually going up and having the actual courage and the actual self-esteem, which I think is a big thing. I think a lot of men, high key, a lot of niggas don't have a high self-esteem. Like, a lot of women feel like men are on the edge, but I'm like, them the niggas you talk to. Most niggas, honestly, are really insecure. A lot of men struggle from body dysmorphia, but honestly, I think a lot of people in our generation just struggles with body dysmorphia, and that's due to like social media and comparing ourselves to people that they see on social media, not knowing what the hell they could be doing to even get themselves to look the way that they look. But that's for a whole nother conversation within itself. But yeah, a lot of niggas don't really have the courage or the built up strength within themselves to put themselves out there when it comes to just dealing with women in general, because it's like 1,000 insecurities when you speak to most of these niggas. It's like, oh, women don't really see me like this when I put myself out there. I don't really get noticed. Then you ask them how you put themselves out there. They're not really putting themselves out there. They're just walking around and hoping that a woman will just acknowledge them and notice them. Like, it's like some bullshit. It's like, gang, you're not even actually speaking to them. You're just wandering around and hoping that a girl might just come up to you. And don't get me wrong, I definitely have wandered around and that shit has worked, but it don't work all the time, nigga. Sometimes you gotta go up. Sometimes you gotta make the first move. It worked for me a couple of times, but that's just luck, nigga. That's just luck. How do I tell you? When it comes to relationships, a lot of men feel like they're not being looked at. They feel like they don't get enough attention, or they feel like, women just don't look at them in any type of way. And honestly, you have to put yourself out there, gang. And this is just for the women too. Like, men have insecurities, fears, the whole fucking nine. We're all human beings. I think a lot of men and women try to disassociate themselves, like we're both not humans, like we both don't have a fucking brain. I know do certain things differently, but the majority of things we all just want love, security, peace. We all want to do, we all want to have fun, work hard, get what we have to do to get the things that we want in life. Like, we all want the same things out of life, It just make the little things in life so fucking complicated. Little interactions we make so complicated. Little disagreements, conversations when it comes to how we look at each other, how we view each other, we make them so complicated. Everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be cherished. Everybody wants to be shown affection. And I feel like a lot of men struggle with that. And I feel like that's just low-key like a parental thing, like definitely a parent thing. Like, you didn't build your son up enough for him to have his own sense of self and actually believe in himself, because a lot of men don't really believe in themselves. And I know it sounds crazy, like a lot of niggas really deal with real heavy issues when it comes to how they view themselves, and it really like fucks them up in dating. And that's the thing I've noticed. It's like nothing's really wrong with these niggas. It's just that they are too hard on themselves. Like, you're a human being. You have flaws, gang. Like, so do women. Like, you have flaws. They have flaws. There's going to be a girl that's going to love you, gang. And I'm being dead serious. It might sound corny, but there's going to be somebody that's going to want to experience you and be with you and the whole fucking nine. But sometimes I feel like niggas be too hard on themselves, because I'm like, nothing's really wrong with you. Like, you could get a girl, bro. It's not like you acting like this shit is some fucking rocket science, nigga. Like, like some niggas act like talking to a girl is fucking rocket science. But that's another thing. I definitely do feel like, just how some niggas just don't have faith in themselves to do anything. And it be sad as fuck, because they be grown as hell. Like, I be knowing niggas that's 25, 28, never held a girl's hand. Like, that shit is wild. And it's nothing wrong with them. It's just the lack of confidence and the inability to believe in themselves, to actually put themselves out there. Like, you would get a haircut once a week, have a better diet, eat better foods, because when you eat better foods, you feel better, and that's like an actual study thing. Stop eating garbage, nigga. When you put garbage in your body, that does actually make you depressed. Put better things in your body, eat better, feel better, get a fucking haircut once a week. Just do some shit. Like, you don't gotta do too much. And when I mean get a haircut, I mean like get a line up, nigga, or freshen yourself up, cut your beard, line your beard up, nigga, structure yourself up a little bit, iron your clothes, like don't look too shabby all the time, like, just make yourself feel good. Like, you gotta just do things to make yourself feel better. And I feel like a lot of niggas just don't have that in them. Like, I feel like some of them give up too early. Like, you too young to be giving up on dating. Like, you just started. Like, that don't even make any sense. Like, you literally just started. But again, again, a lot of fears, insecurities. Comparing themselves to people on social media is a very big thing. Again, I feel like social media heightens certain insecurities that weren't even bad until, people started using social media. Like, I've heard people tell me, like, I didn't even know I was insecure about this thing until I had social media, which is crazy. Like, they had this one thing that was always in their lives. They didn't see it as a big issue until they really started going on social media. And that tells you a lot about how social media just affects people in general. But that's all I really have to say for today. I feel like we have to do more actually communicating than using social media. I feel like, the way how we communicate in social media is so commodified nowadays. The shit, we don't even take that shit seriously anyway. So honestly, the best way to meet your person is by communicating, and there's nothing wrong. Put yourself out there. If shit goes left, then it is what it is, gang. You can't get them all, but put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. That's all I really have to say though. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you on the next YouTube video. Peace.